All right, what's going on, guys? It's been quite a while since I've posted, and, I'm back at work now following that 30-day suspension for fucking up a little bit, at work. And I don't know what it was, but I fell into this pretty deep depression the past 2 weeks. Like, the first initial week and a half was great. I'm like, all right, I got to work on myself. I got some blood work done, been going to the gym. I was making music again and having fun with that. And then I don't know what happened. I just fell into like this depression that just kind of was filled with mostly bed rotting, and just like watching a lot of Alex O'Connor, some documentaries and shit. I watched Chainsaw Man like a bunch of times. I don't know why. What else did I watch? I watched Tokyo Ghoul again. And I don't know. I really didn't do much. And I tried to reach out to my coworker because of how just bored I am. I have no one in my life except for him. He's kind of like I wouldn't necessarily say friend. I mean, he is growing on me, but in sort of a weird way. Like, he's very spurgy now that he's like comfortable with me, and apparently he's on break. Like, he didn't break up with his girlfriend, but he's like on a break with his girlfriend over like some political shit, and like he's all upset about that. But this guy, he's very attention seeking. He's like one of those normies that's like very edgy and just trying to do anything to get attention. Like, I was gonna initially talk about what this guy did last month. I'll save it for another video, but I want to talk about this weekend at the bar, going out with my coworker, because just the sheer amount of like what I witnessed at these bars with the complete, dating is just a humiliation ritual for men, your average guy. I mean, Jesus Christ, the jester maxing, the cringe flirting, all of that stuff. And like I said, I've been in this like very apathetic state for the past 2 weeks. I've been very like emotionally blunted and numb. I don't know if it's because I'm 25 now and I have like this sort of quarter life crisis, or if it's like my hormones, or I'm just like I don't know, I've just been in a very low mood, and I just don't want to really do anything or talk to anybody. But, work has been keeping my head clear, and going out with my coworker. I mean, it was okay. But let me get into like basically what happened with this, because, Saturday. So yeah, he's like, let's go to a bar, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, it's fine. And I can't drink, I mean, I can, if, there's like really nothing stopping me from drinking, but I have liver problems because of it, from struggling with it in the past. And, that just kind of made me think too, the whole bar scene, this whole normie bar scene, all the jester maxing, the cringe maxing, the fucking, humiliation ritual these drunk guys go through and do, and the type of people you meet at these places, it's not ideal at all for guys like me, man. It's very low IQ, and like with these people, I don't know, it's like this hive mind. I don't know, it's probably just a part of our generation as well, with this like brain rot shit. But I've been thinking about going to like an AA meeting, not only because like I've struggled with alcohol, but just because I think, I want to like meet new people and shit and like talk to new people, one of you guys said you go to one just to like meet people. And that kind of got me thinking like, maybe I should do that too. It's like literally like the Fight Club shit. How what the hell is his name? Not Tyler Durden, the main character, just goes to all these like NA meetings, AA meetings, just to like feel hugs from people and, meet people because he's lonely and shit like that, just like fucking Fight Club. But I might do that, just to like meet people. I don't know yet, I'm just very uncomfortable around people right now. But my coworker, he's like, oh, let's go out, all this shit. And I was initially going to drive because like I just drive all the time. But apparently like my coworker, somebody like he got into an accident. Somebody like he was pulling out of like a lane and he got hit. And he got this rental car. It was like this fucking, I don't even know, like this minivan, some like expensive car or some shit that he's renting. He's like, dude, let me drive, bro. Like my car's fucking cool and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, fine, you can drive, whatever. So we get to this one bar. It's one that we actually deliver to as well. That's like relatively close. There's like this area where it's like just like a bunch of bars. It's sort of like the city, honestly. Like it reminds me a lot of New York City. There's like a lot of fucking people. And it was really cold. Like, this was Saturday. It was like fucking freezing. It was like -2 degrees. And we went to this one go-to bar. It's like pretty cool, and it sucks that like I can't drink. But I didn't really even want to anyway, but I ended up, of course, for the first time in like a while, even though my doctor's like, I think you have alcohol-induced hepatitis, which is, I'm not even joking, like pretty much one state. He told me like if I keep drinking, which I have, the weird part is, right? So I've been sober for, I think since like August, I want to say. And that should have given my liver like a decent amount of time to heal. But the markers in my blood are showing that there's like still severe inflammation. And, the ultrasound didn't show anything besides like a lesion on my liver, which is, he thinks is just like a benign tumor or like a fat deposit. Dude, like, look guys, don't fucking drink. All right. Like I'm 25 and I'm going to, I'm going to die a horrible death if I keep this shit up. You know what I mean? But, living life sober sucks. It really does. And, I'm there. I'm drinking all my water. We got there at a good time because we've got the very, very last seats. Like we found a seat like in the corner. Like it's, the bar shaped like a rectangle. We were at like the shorter side of it. There's an Indian dude sitting next to me that was probably around my age. And my coworker had to pull up like this little chair to sit like directly in the corner. And like, all of a sudden, like it got like we weren't really talking or anything. I was just kind of like looking at the TVs and stuff, just drinking on my water, just like very, like I said, numb. I didn't really want to like fucking really do anything. I was like, I just don't want to talk to people, blah, 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 blah. And my coworker, he's a complete attention seeking normie. Like this dude, even when he was in his relationship, or I guess he still is, people are weird. Oh, it's a situationship. Oh, let's break up. Oh, let's get back together. Baby, I love you. Oh, no, don't leave me. Oh, come back. Oh, we're together again. Like, oh, God. It's just like, why can't people just be together and be normal and not be weird, And it kind of like hearing like oofy doofy stories and like looking at these old oofy doofies and like these dead bedroom relationships kind of make me like glad I'm single, you know what I mean, in a sense. But after that night on Saturday, I kind of realized like I'm going to be forever alone. I just cannot talk to women. I just do not know how. And that really was like kind of like the final nail in the coffin where I'm like, yeah, I think this is it, man. I just first off can't see myself in a relationship. I really can't, I don't even know how to talk to women. I don't, and I just don't do it. I don't have that experience. I really don't. And, yeah, so anyway, I'm drinking on my water. I'm like, all right, because it's, like being in, I guess, like a recovering alcoholic, I guess, it's kind of hard to go to bars a little bit, kind of, but not really. Once you see like the drunk normies and shit that are like being assholes, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of glad that I don't do that shit anymore. Because I've done some dumb shit while drunk, some really bad jester maxing and making an ass out of myself and, all that crap. But, yeah, I'm drinking on my water. There's like shit on the TVs, and there's one of the owners, like around, I would say 11 o'clock. Yeah, a ton of people just came in, and we got lucky with the seats, and the owner, like, I don't know who the fuck, like, or it was like some random boomer. I have no idea, but this old boomer manlet, like with a hat, he had the froglet build, like the gut hanging out, the sort of like raspy toad voice, like that shit. And he was just like, doing, I just wasn't in the mood, but he was doing like kind of stand up or like comedy. He was like standing in the middle of the whole bar and with a microphone and just saying like stupid shit like what was like some things he said. He's like, oh, I want everyone to scream if you're an asshole. He's like, oh, where are all my assholes at? Yeah, you're gonna be an asshole at 3 a.m. He's like, oh, look guys, there's the blonde running to the bar. And my coworker, he's on Wellbutrin, Adderall, he drinks, like he gets fucking blacked out a lot, on the weekends, and he'll text me and call me and shit. He's got like, he's very like spurgy now, but he knows when to turn it off. So I don't know why he like just sometimes just does that shit. I don't know, man. But, he's like, oh dude, this guy's so funny, man. He's so funny, dude. And, I just wasn't in the mood. I'm like, oh God, because he kept like just, pointing out random people in the bar. and just like, just like making jokes. Like, he's like, what did he say? He's like, oh, dude, he's like, oh, look at this guy. Ron Jeremy over here. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. And I'm like just cringing my fucking ass off. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I was just like hoping to God, that he wouldn't say anything about my weight, and I just had this fucking feeling, guys. I'm like, he's gonna say something. Cause I was sitting at the bar. There's a bunch of people like standing around and shit, like a lot, like it's fucking jam packed. And I get like, I don't know what it is. Like when I don't get like drunk, I used to go to, bars and shit like all the time. And when I used to live in New York City and shit. And when I would get like really drunk, I just wouldn't care, but when you're sober, like I'm very just like overstimulated by the noise, the people bumping into each other. I'm just like, get me the fuck out of here. I get like kind of panicky. I'm like, it's just not for me, but yeah, drinking, I mean, it never helped. It never helped talk to people at all. I still have like this really bad, like not even just anxiety, but lack of care. Like I don't really want to get to know people that much. But if I get like on a certain level of drunk, I become like this ultra normie. Like, I hope you guys never see me like that, where I'm just like in this euphoric drunk stage where I'm like, oh, I love life. Hey, what do you do for a living? Wow. Oh, yeah. Like, that's how bad it is, but at that point, I'm just like so drunk that like people just don't really want to kind of talk to me unless they're really drunk, But yeah, I just had this feeling this guy was going to say something. And he said something. He's like, where are my redheaded girls at? Where are they at? Where are they at? And, I'm a ginger, right? And I just fucking knew, he's just like looking around and he's like, oh, you're a dude. He's like, oh, throw a wig on you. In this day and age, it's the same shit. Ha 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 ha. And I'm just like, like I just made like a fake laugh. I didn't really give a shit, it is what it is. But I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to like get mad at it, like, cause I mean, it didn't piss me off, but I was just like, I can't even fake a fucking smile anymore, guys. Like, I can't fake being positive anymore. It's really fucking exhausting and hard, but I was just like, and the guy goes, oh, look at this guy. I bet he's fun at parties. And I'm like, like, it's just like fucking, I'm like, this is like just so corny, man, and like, So the DJ, so where I'm sitting all the way in the right, like if you walk all the way to the end of the bar and like all the way to the right, there's a DJ, the DJ was on some shit. I don't know what the fuck this guy was on. He had like this, fuckboy fade. He was like dancing and vaping, like some fucking cyberpunk character. And, near him were like these girls just like dancing. And I'm like, oh my God, just like screaming into the microphone. They were like trying to scream the lyrics. And it just made my ears ring. I'm like, holy fuck. What was that one song they were playing? It was, oh yeah, Miley Cyrus, the Party in the USA. They were like, yeah! And I'm like, oh my, like it was actually making me mad. Like my blood pressure was raising. And, I'm kind of hardly talking to my coworker. We were watching like this MMA fight, that was on the TV, and the fucking people next to me, like the Indian guy, he was pretty drunk, and like, girls kept coming like in between me and my coworker to, order drinks because they had to like scoot in like the middle between us to like, say to the bartender, like, oh, get me a drink. And the Indian guy kept hitting on them and shit. And it was just like really cringe to watch, like I feel like I've acted like that sometimes while drunk. Like I don't flirt with women, I just don't do that because not only is it cringe, I just don't want them to be like, oh my God, he's sexually harassing me. And, all that shit. So I just don't flirt with women. That's just something I've never done before. It's just corny cringe. I just can't force myself to do it, But yeah, this guy's just like flirting with women. I'm like cringing my balls off. He keeps like getting up to go to the bathroom. He's like, yo, broski, yo, bro. He's like, can you watch my seat? I'm like, okay. And people kept, he kept going up and down to go to the bathroom. That's how much he was drinking. And, he kept getting a seat taken, all that shit. And I would tell these people, like, someone sitting there, they would be like, I know, I'm just ordering a drink. And each time he came back, he was like, why aren't you saying anything? I'm like, dude, I am. It's just, they just keep taking your seat, dude. But, or watching the fight, whatever. And I swear to God, like, sports, God, I wish I was positive, man. I wish I had like that mindset. I wish I wasn't like so damaged, cause like I'm hearing all these like people to the right of me, like all these guys just like, yeah, come on, get him there. Yeah. Whoa. Cause it was like, what was it? It was this guy named Dan Hooker. I only remember that because of his last name was funny versus like another guy. And I swear to God, you can watch the highlight for like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. This guy was on top of him in like missionary style. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I looked to the right, I'm like looking at the Indian guy. He's like, come on. And I made a joke and I said, I'm like, dude, this looks like gay sex. And he just fucking started dying laughing because I'm like, what? I've shared my thoughts on sports. I can't get into that shit, because these celebrities, these sports athletes that are like, super, like they're really tall, they're genetically superior, they're good at sports, they have like everything, they don't give a fuck about you, and people go as far as to like there's probably been so many bar fights and just fights in general like that are alcohol induced by sports. You get drunk, my favorite team is losing, we lost, we won, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up, buddy, yeah, you think that team's good, and they fucking brawl over like fiction, people throwing a ball around. It's just fucking insanity to me. I mean, MMA is actually pretty interesting, watching dudes beat the shit out of each other. But when they're on the ground and on top of each other, I don't know about that, dude. Like, it's just like, I was like, is no one like seeing this? Is no one like, you know what I mean? They were like, oh, come on, get off him. Oh my God. Oh. I don't know, man. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, Tom Brady, he don't give a shit about you. None of these athletes care, bro. Like, it's just, it's just like a big distraction to me. I wish I could get into sports and be like a normie and be like, oh, I love this. Because even in my apartment, my neighbor, like one of my upstairs neighbors, this fucking, I don't know where he is. I always hear it though. This guy always is yelling. Like, I'll hear him yell, like, come on. And I know he's watching sports because I'll hear him scream randomly like, how'd you miss that pass? It's like a very loud like yell. And just like screaming stupid shit. Like I wouldn't be surprised if one day I hear him like screaming like, oh no, my favorite BBC broke his leg running down the court. Fuck, he's out of the season. Oh no, Tom Brady, he's out too. Oh God, fuck, no, Conor McGregor. Oh, he's gotta come back, bro. Oh, like, I just, I don't know what it is with me. I feel like if I'm not constantly improving myself, if like what I see, like I can't have entertainment unless it's actually improving my life. That's just like my mindset. And I've been like stuck in like, okay, if this isn't like if it's just like mindless entertainment, it's just not beneficial to me. And I feel like it's a waste of time. That's why I watch like a lot of documentaries and philosophy, and shit like that, because I want to learn stuff. I'm a very curious person about like the world and how shit works, but I wish I could have that mindless fun like that and actually enjoy it. It's the same with video games. Like I always tell myself, like when I used to play video games, I'm like, why am I doing this shit? Like it's a fake virtual game, like it just it's not really going to do anything for me. It's not going to like improve my life in any way. But, yeah, man, like the whole bar, there's this fucking guy behind me, like standing directly over me for like 5 minutes. And I just hear like this low IQ, like, oh man, bro, like fucking bro, like come on, dude, man, this shit, man, my son, man, yeah. Like that guy off South Park, like like that one episode where he's like, this shit, man, I got my fucking shit, man. Like I couldn't even hear what he was saying. I'm like, is this guy fucking drunk? I turn around and this guy looked like fucking Slim Jesus, like Eminem. He had like the earrings on, fucking chain around his neck, talking out of the side of his mouth, just as white as me. I'm like, what the fuck? And I had to do a double take. He's like, bro, fuck are you looking at, bro? Fucking turn around, bro. And I just like kind of like went like, but that shit was like annoying, just hearing this guy over me, with like this really ghetto slang. I don't understand what's wrong with our generation with this. My fucking coworker does it, and he's trying not to because he's like super into like what he says. He's like super, like, especially the month of December. I'll make a whole nother video about it, but he's been super into like Fuentes and shit like that. And he's like, dude, I got to break out of the programming, dude. And I got to like, talk normal. Cause he does this thing where like, if he's okay, and I notice other Gen Z do this bullshit as well too, right? They will use like this street slang ghetto accent that's fake, right? Like they will, if they're meeting new people or some shit around, like he doesn't do it around adults. None of them do. But when they're around like other Gen Z, they'll have like these mannerisms, like, bruh, I'm fucking weak, bruh. Like, on God, bro, like I'm fucking weak, bruh. Like, dude, like, bruh. And I found myself doing that fucking bullshit too. I swear to God, like a few years ago when I used to like talk to my friends, they would say that shit. They would be like, or they would talk like that. And I kind of like picked up those mannerisms, and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of not good, So yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's another thing I just don't like about our generation, with the fucking rap music as well. Like, oh God, like I'll get into that shit. But yeah, we're just sitting there, and fucking my coworker. So since he broke up with his girlfriend, he's just, I mean, even when he was with his girlfriend, he was still attention seeking and trying to flirt with women, and like really fucking weird. But he apparently, so there's this Brazilian chick, and that used to be like his fuck buddy or something like that. Like he used to hook up with her all the time, and all of a sudden I hear him like saying like, oh hey, oh my God, and I'm like, who's this? So he like introduces me. He's like, oh, this is my coworker. And then, she walks off a little, they're talking for a bit, and she walks off, and then he tells me, he's like, yeah, I used to hook up with her like a few years back, and I'll keep in touch with her from time to time, and all that shit. And basically, like her friend, this Brazilian girl's friend, who's also Brazilian, he was like trying to get me with her, but I literally didn't say a fucking word. And apparently she was married. She's a year older than me. She's 26 and she's married, But anyway, he was saying like, yeah, we used to hook up. And he asked like the Brazilian chick's friend, like what she thinks about him, and she goes, oh, I can't say. And then he asked her again apparently, and like a couple minutes later, and I guess she was like kind of drunk. Even when people consume like a little bit of alcohol, like the mask kind of slips off, and she goes like, oh, she wants one more time with you. And my coworker was like, his eyes were like lit up. He's like, oh yeah, bro. He's like, dude, because my coworker apparently basically he got like a big ego boost, and like he's like, oh dude, it's been a while, because he had like a really good relationship with his girl. I don't even know how he got with this girl anyway. His like actual girlfriend, like she's a couple years younger than him. Like she's younger than me, and he was like, dude, like, yeah, he's like, it's been so long, like with the Brazilian chick, he's like, dude, she's still thinking about me, bro. Like, oh my God. Like, because apparently he's packing the hammer, he's according to him, he's got the good old 7.5er, and that completely mogs me to death. I mean, he even suggested a fucking 3-way, and I'm like, oh hell no, dude, no fucking way. Losing my V card like that, nah. No. You're fucking out of your mind. I don't even know this guy like that too, and I don't trust anybody. You got to understand, like, I'm a very paranoid person. I don't trust shit, I mean, there's probably a few people back in New York City I can reach out to that would be like okay to talk to, that I could potentially trust, but then again, you're still walking on eggshells, with my family as well. Like, I'm sure if I needed help, I think it's like a very like a safety net type of thing. Like, being alone is very hard. It's really scary, really, really, really fucking scary. And that's why I really just miss my family a lot, kind of, even though they're like fucked up, everyone's kind of fucked up nowadays, but nothing's perfect. But I miss like a lot of shit, and yeah, like him saying that, I don't know if he just, because he was drinking a little bit, and the guy, the Cringemaxxed comedian boomer owner was like, oh, we were doing $5 green tea shots, $5 green tea shots. And he was like, dude, let's get, get all of us get drinks. And I was like, fuck, should I drink? Because for me, look, one drink turns into 2, then 3, then fucking 4, so I'm like, all right, I'll just do the one and done, green tea shot. So, we get the $5 shots and all that. And then they're sitting at like another table, by the way. And he goes, I'm going to go talk to them real quick, and I'll bring you over once I'm done. So he talks to them. I'm just sitting there like completely numb, by the way. I'm not even feeling a thing. There's no emotion. Like I swear to God, I felt like a Zoloft zombie. Like my fight or flight response is off. I'm not caring about anything at all. I don't want to like really even be there. You know, I was just kind of happy to get out. Realistically, I wanted to go golfing. Like we've done that before. I kind of was like, you know, I don't really want to go to bars anymore. I want to do like activities and shit with you, you know, but, yeah, so he comes back over and I just say my name, introduce myself. And these girls, like, their English is not good, you know, like the Brazilian chick that he hooked up with, like that he used to like hook up with all the time. Her English isn't the best, you know. She's like 27. She, I think what was it, like 4 years ago she came to the US, and I didn't realize it was like that bad. Like she can, you know, her English is like okay, you know, you can understand her, but she got like a really, you know, thick accent. And I just was kind of standing there and like, there's like this, it was really weird. There's like this old guy, like he must have been like, I don't know, like fucking 40, with like this girl my age, you know, fucking Rich Cooper over here, you know, fucking, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to sell me tactical soap, because he literally like he had a full head of hair, better hairline than I do. You know, my hairline's fucking shot and bad, and that's like one of my biggest insecurities right now. You know, my thyroid's all fucked up. I got all these like health issues that's causing my hair to thin. I don't think it's genetic. I keep coping with that, but I don't think it is. Like, I really don't think it is. Because both my grandparents, like both my grandfathers, they had hair. My dad, even though it's pretty fucked, it's probably from the years of drinking for him. I don't know, for his hairline going bad, I don't know, but he's old enough anyway, dude. He's gonna be like fucking he's gonna be like 71 in March, so it's just, that's like what, next month, so he's fine, you know. It's not like he needs his hair anymore. But yeah, you know, it's this old guy with this young, you know, he probably C-maxed, I don't fucking know, but he kind of like got up and left. I don't know where he went, but I'm just standing there awkwardly with my water, just like really nervously, just drinking it over. Like, I drank so much fucking water, you know. So I took the shot, just still drinking on my water. And, you know, we're talking, and that's, you know, of course, like that the chick is married. The other one has a boyfriend. And, you know, since my coworker has in his head that like, oh, you know, this chick wants me, she wants one more time with me. He's like very over flirty. He's like touching her and shit, like grabbing her face. He like just randomly kissed her and shit. And it was like so like cringe to watch. And the weird thing is, she didn't really seem interested. Like, I could just pick up on like, you know, she was just very uncomfortable. And they ended up leaving, and we went to another bar, you know, because I don't know, we were originally like, cause they were like, oh, I'm gonna like drop my friends off or something. She said some shit like that. So we ended up leaving and going to this other bar that we usually go to. Now, I've been to this bar 4 times, right? And the owner of the bar is always like sitting outside, or not like outside, like inside, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know, you walk in the door and there's like a chair, and he's just always sitting there. You know, again, same build. You know, he's this, you know, old dude, probably 60s, full head of hair, you know, lucky. But very short, you know, the bloated stomach, all that. And the bouncer. And look, I wear a beanie all the time. You know, I love wearing beanies. I don't like caps that much, you know, but I always wear a beanie. Like, I don't even really shampoo my hair or do anything with it. I just kind of throw a hat on, you know, just to deal with that, you know. And they're just better, you know, especially because it's freezing. And the 4 times I've been to this bar, I walk in, and the owner, always, he's like, gotta take your hat off. Why? You know, because I'm looking at all the other people, and like the second time, like we went there and I had to take it off, because he even said, he was like, if, you know, because there's a downstairs to this bar, right? He's like, you know, if I see you with this hat on, I'm gonna throw you out. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But there's other, you know, people my age with like baseball caps, and I asked him, I'm like, why the fuck are they allowed to wear baseball caps, but I can't wear a fucking beanie? And he's like, oh, well, it's just our policy. I'm like, dude, is this like a humiliation ritual? Like, I'm taking off my hat to have this fucking horrible hairline. Yeah, okay. Here you go, everybody. Here's my hairline. You know, here's my red hair, you know. I really don't like being a redhead. That's like the number one thing I just don't like. Like, my number one insecurity, I would say, apart from like my hairline, is just my phenotype, you know, my hair. You know, being paper pale Irish is like my biggest kind of insecurity, you know. It is what it is. It's my genetics, but yeah, you know, this guy just fucking makes me take my hat off every single time. And yeah, we just go to the bar, and my coworker's like, let me see if I can like bag a chick, bro. Let me see if I can get another one or some shit like that. Cause the Brazilian chick said like, oh, I gotta go, you know, I gotta drop my friends off. So he was like, okay, you know, I'll just like start talking to other girls. Cause you know, he's just like all about, he even told me, he's like, I just love the thrill of like talking to women and like flirting with women and having it like reciprocated towards me. Cause you know, it's all about the ego, you know. I kind of feel like I had like an ego death as well recently. Like I don't know what it is, dude. I'm telling you, just like, I don't know if it's the age, but yeah, I've just haven't been feeling right, you know, just very like bleh, like fucking Eeyore from what the fuck was that show? Winnie the Pooh, you know, just this like you know, and I feel like people can pick up on that too, you know, and like I said, it's just hard for me to fake these positive emotions, you know, unless I'm like super drunk, and then I'll be like all Mr. Positive, you know, all happy, you know. But anyway, yeah, so we get to this bar, and we go into the downstairs, you know, and he's trying to get me. You know, he did this thing last time. Like I forgot what the video was, but it was on Thanksgiving. But he did like the same shit where he would like go up to random girls. He'd be like, "Oh, my friend thinks you're cute. My friend thinks you're cute," and like nothing would happen, you know. And he pretty much did it again, but he was like pointing to this one girl. She, you know, she had like the goth aesthetic. She had like these fishnet like hand things on, like these fishnet gloves, like these, you know, the piercings. She looked like identical to Jenna Ortega, you know, and I mean, I wasn't attracted to her, and I'm gonna be completely honest, like I'm just like not attracted to women at all right now. Like okay, wait, hold on, pause. I'm not gay, but I'm just not attracted to women. Like I don't, like, it really started like 2 years ago. My sex drive just kind of it just keeps going down and down and down. And, you know, I need to just keep managing like my testosterone. And, you know, I found out my testosterone levels are still low, you know, because I haven't been taking TRT as much. I was taking it 3 times a week, you know, because of how fucking bad my testosterone levels were. And, you know, like there's some people that like abuse testosterone. Like if you go to a clinic, they're going to be like, okay, your testosterone levels are normal. We're not going to give you like a high dose or what, you know, whatever. For me, they're like, oh my God, you know, like, because I have a genetic disorder, you know, I have Klinefelter syndrome, and my body just doesn't produce like it produces like little testosterone. So maybe that's why my sex drive has been slowly declining over the years, apart from getting older. But I really just have no desire to like hook up with women. I really don't at all. If anything, like I've said in the past, I just want like a loving relationship where I can like get along with like the woman, you know. Like I would, like what I look for in a woman, I know I can't be picky at all, but like ideally I would want a woman who's older than me, who's like very high IQ and mature. Like that's kind of like ideally like what like a perfect relationship for me would be like. But anyway, yeah, he spots her, you know, this Jenna Ortega chick, and she you know, he goes up to her and says like, oh, my friend's kind of shy, he thinks you're cute. And like she looked at me and did like this really corny, sort of like the last girl at the other bar, like this really weird, like, and she was wearing a skirt too, and like negative, she was wearing like this black skirt and like negative fucking 2-degree weather. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So yeah, she's just she does like this weird like hand thing and gives like this weird look. I don't, not like a look of disgust, but like a flirtatious kind of look. And she literally, the first thing out of her fucking mouth, guys, I shit you not, she goes, we can dance, but please don't, like, it was like the most annoying like kind of tone as well. She was like, we can dance, but please don't touch me. Please don't touch me, but we can dance. Please don't touch me. And I was like, what? Like thinking in my head, I was like, first off, I wouldn't anyway. I'm not like, I don't know. I'm like really weird. Like not only like overstimulated and shit, I just don't like being touched as well. Like I just don't do that, you know? And that was like a red flag to me, because it just, I don't know, it just kind of shows like, first off, like just what kind of person you are, like very uptight and like she was weird anyway, you know? And it's like, at that point, like, I didn't want to, like, just walk away, because then she'd be like, oh, this guy only wants me for, well, you know, my body and blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't even going to do that anyway. I don't even care, you know. And then after she said that, she goes, can you buy me a drink? And I say, because remember, I had just spent fucking 30 days with no pay. And I'm like, I don't want to, you know, these fucking drinks are expensive, you know what I mean? So I'm like, can you buy me one? And she's like, what? I'm like, can you buy me one? I'm a little poor. Look, at this point, like I said, I don't know how to talk to women, and I wasn't even giving a shit. I would say I was honestly more uninterested than she was. You know, my coworker just wanted to see me happy. And this just wasn't it, you know, and I just kept saying, like, I'm a little poor, I'm poverty poor right now, can you buy me a drink, whatever, dude. And she kept saying, what? And I'm like, fuck it, fine. I'll be like, what do you want? You know, and she was like, oh, okay. Like, she only chose to hear me. Look, I don't even know what her name was. I didn't even ask, but she only chose to, like, hear me when it was something that was, like, I don't know, that benefited her and shit. Like, I don't even know, but it was so cringe because she was with this group of people, you know, like these two other girls and, like, this other guy, and they're all looking at me like this. I swear, like that meme, like that party meme, like they're all looking at me with, like, this face of disgust. And I just felt really embarrassed, you know. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt, like, really, really embarrassed, you know, and I just, you know, I was really tense, awkward, and sort of, like, numb at the same time, like, all these weird emotions at the same time, and I didn't even want to do it, man. Like, I didn't even want to fucking talk to her. But, yeah, so they're all kind of, like, staring at me and shit. Like, they literally did not stop staring at me till we got, like, our drinks, you know, and her drink costed $10, or cost $10. I don't know, costed isn't the right word, but cost $10, you know, for like a shot of, I don't know what it was. And I think she was a little drunk, I don't know. And, you know, she was like, oh, I'm 21. And first off, like, that's fucking way too young for me, dude. Like, I'm not, like, she's still in college going for, like, some political science major. And I only asked her, like, a few questions. And she was like, so we were standing at the bar, and she was, like, dancing with her friend. I don't dance. I think dancing is, like, the cringiest shit. Like, it brings back a lot of memories. Like, when I was a kid, I used to do, like, this really, like, cringy shit. In school, like, when I was really young, I would say, like, middle school, where, like, I would, like, just start randomly dancing and shit, and, like, I didn't realize, like, it was just, like, the most cringe thing in the world, and people were, like, making fun of me for it, but I thought, like, everyone was, like, liked me because of it, until, like, I found out, like, yeah, like, I'm just a complete jackass, you know. But I don't like dancing in general, you know. I'm white, I can't dance, and I just don't like dancing. So yeah, she's dancing with her friend, and then I'll ask her a question, and she kept saying, what? Like, we could barely fucking hear because of how loud the music was. So yeah, I asked her the college question. I asked her, you know, how old are you? I didn't even know her name, but yeah, she's like 21. I asked her, like, what's up with the aesthetic, you know, like, what's up with the fishnets and stuff, and she didn't understand what I was talking about because she had Zins or whatever the fuck they're called, the thing, like the nicotine pouches, and they're, like, in her gloves. And she was like, you want to know what this is? And I kept pointing to it. I wasn't trying to touch her because she told me not to, and I'm like, I just have my finger, like, hovering fucking, like, 10 inches above it, like, pointing down. I can't even point to it properly. She's like, don't touch me. So I'm trying to point to her glove, and she's like, oh, the Zins. And she said something like, I had to, like, you know, put my ear closer to her. She said something like, oh, I have an upper decky right now. I got an upper decky in. The amount of fucking cringe from that term, upper decky. That was like one of the first times, like, dude, upper decky. I got the upper decky in, bro. And I was like, no, the fishnets. And she just couldn't understand. And, you know, I told her, I'm like, yeah, you look like Jenna Ortega. And she's like, yeah. And she kind of got mad by it. But no, like, guys, I fucking swear to God, like, I almost, like, she could be a fucking stunt double or a clone. Like, I'm not even joking. But anyway, I'm just, you know, I'm super uncomfortable. I'm like, why am I even doing this? Why am I even talking to her? First off, I'm not even into her. I don't even want to do this. I'm only doing it because my coworker, because I don't even know why I bought her a drink, you know, because my coworker was saying shit about that, because I would never do that. because women do that a lot, where they'll go up to like some desperate like loser if they can sniff them from a mile away, and they'll be like, hey, can you buy me a drink? And they'll do it, because they're desperate, and these guys don't know any better. Like me, I know better. I know like they're just, I know I'm ugly. I know that like, yeah, that would happen. They would just use me for a drink. And after like that, I'm just like watching her just still dancing with her friend. I'm standing there awkwardly, and I literally just said, I'm like, well, it was nice meeting you. I'm gonna go fuck off and do something else. She's like, okay. So I'm walking around, I'm trying to find my coworker, and he's lo and behold, he's talking to this other chick. He's like, basically, so how this bar is, there's like a little tiny staircase, and then like there's like another room, but like the doors are closed. It's only like 4 steps up, and they're standing like on the railing, like probably like 3 steps up, and the girl's in the middle, and he's like talking to her, flirting with her, all that shit, and just waiting for him to finish up. And then I just kind of was like, this is just like, I'm just wasting my time. I'm just like watching this guy flirt with her. They go to the bar. He buys her a drink, all that shit. And I'm still just like awkwardly standing there. Like, he introduced me to her, and I just was like, hi. And I'm just like this weirdo dude just standing there watching these two. And, they're just like making out. And I'm like, I felt like a cuck. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And in the process of that, somebody stepped on my shoelace, and I was like, what the fuck? Because, when someone steps on your shoelace, you feel like a little tug. I was like, what the fuck was that? And like they were making out, and I'm just like awkwardly kind of watching, and I fucking pulled out my phone, and I shined the light on my shoe to see like what the fuck was up. I'm like, huh. So I, to tie it, really quick, I just like kind of flashed it on, and the girl started freaking out. She's like, did you just fucking take a picture of me? And I was like, no, like, what are you talking about? She's like, give me your fucking phone right fucking now. That's not fucking cool, dude. I'm like, I'm telling you, I did not fucking take a picture of you. I literally, someone stepped on my shoe, and I fucking I didn't even point it in your direction. I'm kind of getting mad about it now. But I'm like, yeah, I fucking pointed the flashlight at my shoe because someone fucking stepped on it, She was like, no, he's like, give me your phone. Give me your phone. She grabbed it out of my hand. She's like, what's your passcode? And I was like, I'll fucking show you my photos. So I showed her the photo, my camera roll, which is a bunch of my YouTube thumbnails and bullshit, and just like, yeah, all that shit. And I'm like, see, she's like, go to your recently deleted. And then I'm like, look, I'm telling you, I legit just shined the light on my shoe. I didn't take a picture of you two making out. She's like, I don't believe you. What other apps do you have? And I'm like, dude, let's just get the fuck out of here, man. Like, and then my coworker was like, yeah, dude, that chick was weird. And he's like, did you take a picture, bro? I'm like, no, I didn't. Someone stepped on my shoelace. I flashed the light on to see like what the fuck that was. And yeah, that was it, weird. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I'm like, all right, let's just call it a night. Let's go home. And, so yeah, I get into his fucking minivan, his new rental minivan, because someone hit his car, and just lo and behold, like we're driving, and apparently the Brazilian girl, like she lied about like having to pick up her friends or something like that, and he called her, like he saw her like on the street, and he's like, yo, because we rolled down the window, and he's like, dude, roll down the window, and he's like, dude, say something, and I just kind of yelled, I was like, hey, just to, like, get her attention. It was, God, the shit I do for people. But yeah, like, so yeah, he calls her, and he's like, he puts on his fake bullshit ghetto Gen Z annoying accent, and goes, girl, baby girl, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you lied to me, baby girl. I swear to fucking God, this is how this guy talks when he's flirting with women. Baby girl, bro, like, come on. He's like, why you lying to me? He's like, what you trying to do tonight? And she's like, you could tell like she's audibly uncomfortable. She's like, I didn't lie. Like, very uncomfortable. She's like, come on, let's, come on. You're like, you want to see me? She's like, when you take that long to respond, chances are you're not interested. And I'm just like cringe, like this guy's just completely oblivious. And she goes, sure. And we end up picking her up because she had to like drive, she had to like actually like legitimately like this time drop her friends off or some shit, and she went back to her house. And you know, we're sitting in front of her house, he's texting her, and he's like, bro, can you sit in the back seat, do you mind? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go sit in the cuck chair in the back, sure. So I go into the back, you know, it's like this huge, like this, it's pretty, I mean, the minivan was pretty cool, like I'm not gonna lie, like the car was actually pretty cool. But yeah, so she comes in the car. God, dude. Now, keep in mind, guys, my coworker, he freestyles all the time. You know, he'll freestyle to like rap beats all the time. And I mean, I'll do it too, because like it just like for like sometimes we'll like fuck around and like we'll be bored driving, you know, I'll be driving, I'll put on like a beat or something, or like some beat I made, and we'll just be like meme rapping basically, like that, you know, Miles shit. And I don't know, I just find it comical. But he's like very serious about rapping though. Like he actually, like when he gets serious about it, it becomes like really cringe. And you know, he's like, because he said like, oh, you know, I've freestyled before, you know, for you. Like when she's in the car, he's like, I've freestyled before you in the past. And I go, oh boy. He kind of got mad at me because because she started laughing, and when I said, oh boy, he's like, bro, he's like, you don't think I'm good at freestyling, bro? He's like, dude, I'm fucking, he's like, bro, he's like, dude, you know I'm good, bro. You know I'm fucking good, bro. And I'm like, yeah, because I can't even fake it. I'm like, yeah. Like literally, that's how I sounded. I'm like, yeah. Because you got, guys, you just fucking wait for what this guy did. So basically, yeah, he asks, you know, the Brazilian girl that he's like trying to hook up with, and she goes, no, I don't like it. And he's like, oh, come on. He's like, baby girl. He's like, yo, he's like, no, I'm gonna do something. And this is the funny thing, man. Like even like when he was playing rap music, like he would just like kind of do like the ad libs, and like, what is it? Like the Baby, he has like some new album, you know, or some shit that like everyone's kind of going crazy over that are like my age. What a great inspiration the Baby is for our generation, man. You know, shooting some guy in the head at Walmart. Just what a inspiration, dude. Just wow. Just love this era of music. But yeah, he was like doing the ad libs. He was like, bah, 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 bah. Like I'm just hearing this. I'm just like, ugh, just like in the backseat cringing. And like, since her English isn't like the best, he's like trying to say like, you know, he's talking about like, oh, well, you know, when I was a kid, I would do that. Like just trying so hard, you know, and you could just tell she was like tapping her leg, like very uncomfortable. I don't even know, like maybe the Brazilian girl's friend, maybe she lied about that. Like, oh, she wants one more hookup with you. Maybe she lied about that. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, you know, he's like, oh, I'm gonna throw on a beat. He's like, I'm a freestyle. He's like, yo, let me freestyle for you. And if this shit, like, I should have fucking started recording, because I have recorded some of his freestyles before, because he asks me to, and like not like you know, on my phone and shit, but I'd like to send it to him. And they're just so bad. Like his lyricism, like he'll say like the most random shit. Like like one of the and you know, he'll throw on the accent. He was like, and I literally like could not stop. Like I had to like fucking like I literally couldn't even breathe, and I was trying so hard not to like fucking audibly like just fucking lose it, like have like a fucking belly laugh, because you know he put on the accent, and he's like, yeah, fly through the sky like Iron Man, Junior Downey. Like, he called Robert Downey Jr. Junior Downey, but it was the way he fucking said it, guys. Like, he said it so fast. He's like, because he was like trying to find the word, like who he was, and he was like, Junior Downey. I don't know. It was just like the funniest shit. Yeah, my favorite actor is Junior Downey. I love Junior Downey. I loved when he played in Iron Man. But he's just like, you know, he started like rapping about like, yeah, got the ass. Yeah, I get the bitch over my house. Yeah, she slapped that shit. Yeah, titties in my face. And I'm like, dude, like, use your brain here for a second, man. Like, you have this woman in your car and you're rapping about, like, that's why I don't understand, what I don't understand about, like, modern rap music, like, how it's so degrading to women and they still listen to it, right? Yeah, fucking do that, yeah, I got the Draco. You know, like, I don't get it. Violence, drugs, guns, women, and young people are like, yeah, fucking great production, great. I mean, the only thing I really like about rap is like I like the instrument. Like, I've always been a fan of like dubstep and like electronic music, and I really do like how like some of the beats are produced. Like, they're so simple yet they're so like heavy, but the lyricism and shit is just ridiculous to me, and yeah, he's just like, my coworker's just rapping about like slapping ass, yeah, the girls want me, yeah, bruh. And I just couldn't wait to get the fuck out of I couldn't wait for him to drop me off, so yeah, I got back to my apartment. Hopefully, like, I asked him, just today, like, just right before I recorded this, I was like, how did it go? Texted him, and he just called me. He was like, oh, it was good, bro. He's like, I laid the pipe down, and yeah, bro. He's like, yeah, bro. And then all of a sudden he goes, I miss my girlfriend. I got to text her. That was a real sigh. That was something. Oh, man. Yeah, this is life. I gotta stop going to these like degenerate places, man, and just dealing with these drunk people and this, this just very, very low IQ, like, shit. Very, very low IQ, Where do you meet like high IQ people? Like, I know I'm not the smartest. Like, I have a recorded IQ of like somewhere between like 90 and 95, but I'm not like, I don't have like that lack of emotional self-awareness, where I'm like that, like the average, like, what do they call them? Like midwit, where you just like blindly follow shit. I feel like the very smartest people and the dumbest people are like really in tune to like what the fuck's going on, but yeah, I don't know. I like discussing stuff. I like talking about, like, I don't know, the world, how shit works, I don't know. I just have like a really good, I don't know, like, just lots of curiosity about stuff. And there's like nobody I can really talk to, about that shit. Because when I do, like, it's just very spurgy and people just don't give a shit. Like, if someone said, like, it could be like anything. Like, if someone brings out like I don't even know, like some random object, I'll have like 10 facts about it, like, on hand, like, oh, did you know that this and this, and oh, this is actually how this works, and if you do that, like, that, I just go on a tangent, about stuff, and people just don't give a shit, like, I don't care, let me consume, give me. So yeah, I don't know, that was how I spent my Saturday, watching two men wrestle on the floor in a bar, watching people freak out over it, and dealing with all that shit. So, having to take my hat, whatever, who gives a shit? So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm probably gonna go, gonna go to sleep here in a second. My boss is up my ass. He's like, so I'm gonna be watching you, man. He's like, you seem a lot better. Even my coworker, he's like, you look like you lost a little bit of weight. You're looking good. He's like, your eyes are a little brighter. Like, all right, I guess that's good news to hear. My hairline ain't any better though, but yeah, I'm just glad I'm back at work, and I already told my coworker too. I'm like, look, can we just not we're not going to bars ever again, dude. Like, can we just, I'll go once in a while, but just don't make me do something I don't want to do, And I told him, I'm like, let's go like bowling or golfing or some shit. Like, I've been wanting to go bowling for like the longest time. Like, for like a long ass time. I just haven't had like anyone to fucking do it with, I don't want to be that fucking loser that just goes to the bowling alley. Oh, I'm gonna go bowling by myself, and just, I feel like it would be boring, because at least, like, if you have somebody, it's like a little competitive and like fun, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm about to go food shopping right now, and then just probably just call it a night, and go to bed. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now.